Hi guys, welcome in. I am Goddess Illuminated. I assume if you're watching this live, then you are already a subby because the lives don't tend to get very many impressions. All right, this is our twin flame reading for those twin flames that are in separation today. So it's just a quick reading as I am got a few things I want to do in my personal life. Okay, so I have pulled an oracle card for our twin flames in separation from the Beyond Lemuria deck. And the card that came out is the Star Seed Elemental. So it says, sometimes adulting can become too serious. When this happens, adding curiosity, fun, laughter, and a lighthearted sense of play to our perspective can be the most effective way to rebalance. So I think that that's a really valuable insight here for our twin flames who aren't in union. You know, Valentine's Day is a day that is typically spent with your loved one. And so if you are in twin flame separation, that, you know, it could be a challenging time for you emotionally. So try to not take things too seriously and to bring a sense of play to your activities today. Okay, so let's see what Spirit wants me to reveal. Oh, that's right. I had got a download about how I was going to do this reading. I'm trying to see, where do I, okay, back here. What I wanted to do was to do two separate sides looking at the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Wow. Okay, divine feminine. Let's see if I can. Oh. This is the worst. Honestly, this is the worst spot for a reading. I'm still struggling to find a. This isn't my preferred spot for reading, but it is what it is. So we're just dealing with that at the moment. All right. So we've got divine feminine, divine masculine. Oh, wow. All right. Interesting. All right. What is the best way for me to actually redo this reading? Okay. So for the divine feminine, we have our cards in this order. So sort of at the grounding position here, we have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is all about, it's intellectualism, it's inquiry, it's can be about investigation. With the Five of Wands here in reverse and the Knight of Wands up top, what this says to me is that the divine feminine is investigating the ways that like a lack of conflict or a lack of competition with their partner can bring about this spark of passion back into their relationship. For the masculines, we have the Tower, the Seven of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. So what this says to me is that if the masculines can understand how to root out any sort of sneaky, devious, manipulative, underhanded sort of behavior, that is going to lead them to this Ten of Cups situation. All right, now I'm going to move these that was not optimal. I'm going to move these cards back in front of me so that I can go and do a little bit of a clarifier. I'm going to pull a clarifier for each of these in between, almost using them as okay. So at the ground level here, we have feminine energy of investigating and masculine energy of the tower, which is essentially crumbling of structures that are false. Anything that is actually not true and not going to carry us forward is what the tower represents. So whereas some of the masculines, in the a short time prior to this reading, so a short time prior to Valentine's Day, whereas some of the masculines may have been actively seeking to break down any of these false structures that are in place in their relationship. The women have been, the more feminine aspect has been receptive in understanding what it is that the masculine is breaking down. Clarifying this, we have the Two of Cups and the Lovers reversed. So the Lovers card is a card of choice, right? It is obviously it's probably one of the Lovers, the best, the best love card in the deck. But the Two of Cups is our minor arcana love card. So what the masculines here are breaking down anything that has to do with love choices. Actually, what the masculines may have been doing is avoiding a choice. They're breaking it down, right? So they're breaking down any choices that they have in love. This could mean ending third party situations, or it could mean that the masculines are being shut off to making a choice in love. The feminine energy here is investigating what qualities in love, what qualities in a partnership mean that they no longer have to make a choice, right? So if you're a feminine and you're in a separation or in an out relationship with your twin flame, you might be investigating what sort of qualities in the relationship need to develop so that you no longer have to question the sanctity or I guess the sanctity of your relationship. Okay, moving on to the next level of energy here. For the masculines, we have the Seven of Swords. So for the masculines, this could, this is our lying, cheating, stealing card, right? It's not the best card for the masculine energy, but it looks to me like the masculines are investigating how to remove this level of deceit or betrayal that may be in the relationship. And the way that he's doing about that in this card is he has gone into his enemy's camp and he has stolen the swords from them so that they can't be used against him. What's interesting though is that the women, the feminine energy here is not bringing conflict or competition. So what else does Spirit have to say about these opportunities and challenges between our twin flames who are in separation on Valentine's Day. We've got the Page of Pentacles in reverse and the Star. So this to me talks about a lack of opportunity, with the Page of Pentacles here representing the opportunity and the Star representing the healing. For the masculines, look, for the masculines who have been involved in lying, cheating, stealing, and deception, what this is saying is that the masculines here need to understand how that behavior has caused a lack of opportunity for healing. And they need to understand how to resolve that situation. And the opportunity for these masculines then is to figure out how to remove from the enemy. So determining what that enemy is. If the enemy is their own deception and betrayal, they need to look for an opportunity for healing in themselves so that they have the self-confidence that they need in their twin flame union to keep their eye focused on that union. For the feminines here, we have the Five of Wands in reverse, and we had the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So what that's saying to me is that for the women, for the feminine healing, the feminines actually have to become a little bit more combative. And I don't mean combative in any negative sense here. These people are sort of just practicing, right? They're just sort of jousting. They're learning about that Five of Wands energy, that inspired energy. So the opportunity here is for the feminines to understand how they can approach their masculines and talk about things that are challenging, that are preventing healing in the relationship, but to do that in a way where they aren't undermining, like they're not creating so much conflict and competition or projection onto their masculines. So they need to learn how to actively assert themselves with their masculines about their needs without having their masculine remove the opportunity for healing that comes from that discussion. And for the masculines really have to understand here how any lies, betrayals, or deception that have been in place in the relationship, how, because from the feminines, this conflict was in reverse. So it says to me that the masculines don't understand how that conflict removes the ability to heal with their partner. So they have to do some deep discussion, well, probably introspection first, and then discussion with their partner so that they can understand how, not being faithful, not being committed to the relationship, not being honest and having integrity in the relationship removes the opportunity there for healing. They need to dig in and understand why the feminines become conflicted and choose not to move forward on a path of healing. All right. Next, we have for the feminine energy, we have the Knight of Wands. And for the masculine energy, we have the Ten of Cups. So, very interesting because we've got all of this action and passion here on the feminine side, and very much receptivity on the masculine side with the Ten of Cups. Quite interesting when we see you know, what this is saying to me is that when the women bring passion, the men bring the Ten of Cups. When the men bring the Ten of Cups and the focus onto the relationship, the women bring the passion. What else can Spirit tell me? Oof. Oh man, I didn't want to do this. I wanted to keep this a short reading. All of these have just flipped out. So I have to read this as it comes. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the first card that we have is the Five of Cups. So it tells me that there has been loss and betrayal in the past. And I just want to show you all of these cards that came out. It's literally all of these, but they've come up face up. So I'm going to read this as a story here. Okay. So there has been, so we're thinking here about how the women can bring the passion and this solar plexus drive here into the relationship, and how the masculines can create this loving emotional environment. Okay, so when the love offer wasn't given, it created a situation where there was no new beginning. And the two partners both started to believe that, things would only come together when pigs fly. Both partners started to consider what it was that they wanted for their future. To dream about that was sort of with the candle and these moon cycles here. They started pulling inside of themselves. That is not the typical reading of the Eight of Pentacles, by the way, guys. This is it. I'm reading completely intuitively right now. And what happened when both partners went internally was that it removed the sun, the light, the inspiration from the partnership. And what has to happen here is that both the masculine and the feminine need to find their own path into heaven. The stairway here is really narrow, and each person has to build their own pathway to heaven. With the Eight of Cups in reverse, this is about not forcing artificial goodbyes by giving things up and walking away, but also not staying in a level of anxiety which prevents both the masculine and the feminine from being in touch with their higher self. All right, guys, I'm going to finish with an inspiration card for our twin flames in separation on Valentine's Day. When I am at peace, I can take actions and release control. which seems like the perfect sort of message for us to end this twin flame in separation reading on. All right, guys, I appreciate you. I hope that this reading has been beneficial. Um, wanted I want to thank everybody who's stuck around with me the last couple of weeks. Well, like I said, I'm not in the most ideal situation for reading. Like I like to have my, a dedicated space to do my readings, and I haven't been able to organize that. And I was having some really heavy spiritual projection last week, but that has all cleared up thanks so much to prayer. So, for anybody interested in joining me tomorrow, I am going to run a very impromptu session reading in a way that I've never read before. And I am going to be using tarot to pray. So, if you'd like to join me, feel free to subscribe, and we will be doing our prayer reading tomorrow. All right. Happy Valentine's Day, guys.